What's waxy, colorful, and adds great texture to artwork? Crayons! I'm Chanel Thervil. I'm a mixed media artist, and I use crayons in my work to make awesome textures. So today I thought it'd be good for us to make some mixed media artwork of our own that utilizes crayon and embodies joy. Ultimately, you want to have a beautiful sheet of paper. Also, make sure to have some paint and crayons so we can get going on this artwork. For me, I really wanted to pick some colors that remind me of springtime, primarily because we are making an artwork that depicts joy. So if you look it up in the dictionary, the definition of joy really is the embodiment of happiness or positivity. Yellow is a joyful color for me, makes me think of sunshine, so I'm using that to write out the word joy for the center of my artwork. What I love about using crayon and acrylic paint together is that when you put the paint over the crayon, there are these really beautiful textures that pop out because of the waxiness. It often leaves a little bit of white space underneath that gets soaked up with color when you paint. In addition to adding the word joy, I also decided to think about some objects and symbols that represent joy for me. So I'm starting off by making a big old bowl of biscuits. I find joy in good food. Biscuits are one of my favorites. We even have some nice heat waves coming from the biscuits because they are nice and warm. Another thing that brings me a lot of joy is making artwork. So of course, I had to draw a little paintbrush, and we're gonna give you some canvas action so you can see the painted patterns that I have that go along with that symbol of joy. Next up for me is really thinking about love. There's so much love in my life, from family, from friends, and that is something that definitely brings me joy. And last but not least, folks, many people don't know this about me, but I love sleeping. Sleeping brings me joy. Get those Z's in. Being well rested helps me do all the great things. So sleeping and resting actually brings me a lot of joy, giving you some comforter, pillow, and sleepy time action with my drawing there. The goal here, folks, is to fill your paper with at least 4 things that bring you joy. So don't feel bad if the things that bring you joy are different from mine. We're all unique. We have different experiences. And there are tons of things that might bring you joy that I probably didn't even think about. I've also decided to use some orange crayon just to bring it all back and draw some arrows to the joy action happening as a way to get ready for the next step using some acrylic paint. In order to be ready for that, the painting action, you want to make sure you get your brush really saturated with water and you only use a little bit of paint. Now that I think about it, we should actually add just a little bit more water so it's easier to spread all over the crayon. So if it feels a little watery, that's a good thing. And you can start to see the waxiness of the crayon peek through the color of the paint. Oh man, it's looking joyful already. But yeah, part of what I really love about this technique is that the resist that's happening between the wax and the wetness of the watered down paint gives you almost like a chalky effect. And things become a little more vivid once it dries, so I'm impatient and I'm blowing and waving. But don't forget to write your name before you're done. Gotta give the artist the credit for their hard work. And there you have it, folks. I have some joyful artwork using crayon. Quick tip to make these results even more awesome is to use lighter colored crayons and darker colored paint so that the contrast is really high and things look a little more alive in your work. Overall, wishing you lots of happy art making times during quarantine.